Renowned social theorist Patricia Colling said that most activism is brought about us ordinary people. Ordinary people who do not fit into the mainstream, who live at the margins, and whose journeys are largely dictated by issues of power and privilege. Today, I stand before you as one of those people. As a new international faculty member of color in Louisiana, my identity and my story is also inspired by social justice and advocacy. I was born and raised in India, a place full of contradictions. My religion and caste allowed me a comfortable place in society, but my gender, socioeconomic class, and skin color did not. I studied psychology and worked in policy research in India, which shaped my understanding of human rights issues and activism. My doctoral journey in counseling in the US shaped my knowledge in critical inquiry and developmental activism. As an educator, I continue to practice and preach social activism. But the COVID-19 pandemic proved to be challenging in terms of connecting, engaging, and collaborating with students, colleagues, and community. Obstacles arising from international travel bans, physical and mental health concerns, unfair immigration policies, and economic decline were hurting my pursuit of social justice and activism. This pandemic was particularly challenging because it was followed by Hurricane Laura and Ida, which had taken my home and belonging away from me. Relocation, financial challenges, and job duties became extremely demanding. But being a firm believer and practitioner of resilience, I revisited and redefined my idea of activism. It is rightly said that emergencies often prove to be the forge in which new ideas and opportunities are hammered out. So I put that ideology into practice and recreated the idea of justice and advocacy for myself. I will share with you the 3 ways that served as solution for my challenges. First, practicing self-care and community care. Writer, feminist, and civil rights activist Audre Lorde said, "Caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare." During the pandemic, several human rights organizations like Amnesty International, etc., they came together to support each other and push for change in new and innovative ways. There was a shift in the area of activism, and the focus was more on staying positive and resilient while trying to save the world. Activists witness the worst aspect of the system while trying to make the world the best place to be in. And it commonly results in anxiety and burnout in them. In such situation, prioritizing staying safe, being prepared, and knowing what is going on is critical. So you can be an advocate for yourself while engaging in the collective solidarity work that is needed to stand up against social injustice. Second point, empowering the youth. As an educator, I believe in creating and facilitating spaces that regularly offers political and social education involving critical examination of social issues and intersectionality through discussion and webinar. Using case studies and example, I teach my students how power and privilege are produced and transferred between generations through discriminatory policies and standards. I have found that it inspires my students to practice critical consciousness and praxis in their lives. I also aim to collaborate with underrepresented students in scholarly work as a way to empower them and their voices, something that I have learned from Dr. Amy Aldrich Sanford. I also indulge in cross-cultural and minority mentorship with my students. It is a way to uplift them and something that I have learned from Dr. Rosie Bander. The third and the last point is connecting locally. While the pandemic was hurting globalization and developmental initiatives everywhere, it was the local communities and social institutions that emerged to highlight the urgent needs of society and serve them through crowdsourcing and volunteer work. Local individuals and agencies, they collaborated and arranged for food banks, hardship funding, oxygen cylinders, online medical and mental health consultation, and mass donation of surgical masks, gloves, gowns, eyewear, and sanitizer. Collaborating locally is very important, particularly during challenging times when global logistics are suffering. While the above three methods that I just mentioned may seem to be a little visible impact in terms of social change, but these activities are likely to strengthen the civil society, build capacity of young advocates, and highlight political and economic issues in urgent need of change.